The year was 1967, and John Plessinger was a graduate student of Canbrook Academy of Arts near Detroit, and was currently in the process of changing history of the ATV world as we know it. It is here that he designed what we now know as the first three-wheeler, the Tricart. Then in 1968, Plessinger sold the Tricart patents and design rights to Sperry Rand New Holland, who manufactured them commercially.
What's the difference between a three and a four-wheeler? Our best example, it's a difference between riding a live bull or a mechanical one. That one's live.
When it comes to three-wheelers, the choice is simple. Whether you're picking for work or picking for play, just pick the Honda ATC.
Follow the leader, he's on a Honda.
Honda introduced their first sit-on straddle-ridden three-wheeler in 1970, which was famously portrayed in the James Bond movie Diamonds Are Forever and other TV shows such as Magnum P.I. and Heart to Heart. Honda acquired the trademark on the term the ATC 90, all-terrain cycle. It was designed purely for recreational use. It featured large balloon tires instead of a mechanical suspension. The ATC 90 stayed virtually unchanged for 10 years. During that time, there were other models introduced like the ATC 70 in 1975. It and the ATC 110 in 1978. It wasn't until the early 80s that Honda shook up the ATC world with the introduction of its first sport model, the ATC 250R. The 1981 ATC 250R was the first high-performance three-wheeler featuring full suspension, a 248cc two-stroke engine, a 5-speed transmission with manual clutch, and a front disc brake. Then in 1983, ATC 200X made its mark as another landmark machine. It was an easy-to-handle 192cc four-stroke that was ideal for new participants in the sport. The ATC 200X was the first high-performance four-stroke ATV that featured full suspension front and rear, disc brakes with single piston calipers, an 18-horsepower engine, sporty looks, and is widely considered one of the best ATVs ever produced today. In 1985, Honda also introduced the new ATC 350X. The 350X was another high-performance three-wheeler, similar to the 200X, but an entirely new machine. The 350X featured a 26-horsepower air and oil-cooled 350cc four-stroke engine with a 4-valve head, impressive technology for the time. The engine was so good, in fact, that it was nicknamed the King of the Hill. Had an amazing amount of torque, and Honda wasn't afraid to call it that. The suspension was a step in between the all-new ATC 250R, which featured a 246cc liquid-cooled two-stroke engine and nearly 10 inches travel in its front suspension, front and back. For 1985 and later 1986 Honda models introduced an all-new 250R. Different from previous generations, the new machines were larger, sportier, and now featured a liquid-cooled 246 two-stroke at a light weight of 292 pounds. The machine was incredibly quick for the day, with the high 38 horsepower rating. Today, the 85-86 250R is arguably considered the greatest three-wheeler of all time.
Today's Tom Sawyer, he gets high on you, and the space he invades, he gets by on you.
During this time, the other major manufacturers of dirt bikes like Kawasaki and Yamaha decided there was a market with these machines, so they decided to jump in as well. So in 1981, Kawasaki came out with their first bike, the KOT 110 four-stroke. It had drum brakes in the rear and balloon tires like the Honda ATC 110. Then in 1984, they came out with their version of the 200 four-stroke, which had the same look but with a bigger motor. Then in 1985, Kawasaki decided to join the high-performance market with the introduction of the Ducati 250. This was to keep up with the Honda's 250R, which had been dominating at the track.
Stop bugging me. Don't shake my tree. I said, who me? Not my style, man. No way. Come on, get real. I'm sorry, Dad, gotta disappear. Let's get the rock out of here. 7-day weekend, up all night. In at the deep end, hang on tight. Won't take a minute, won't take long.
Yamaha entered the market with their Tri-Moto line of ATCs. In 1980, they introduced their 125 Tri-Moto, their first two-stroke. It was a 5-speed automatic with a recoil starter. Although the 125 stayed pretty much unchanged for 3 years, they decided it was time to step it up. So in 1983, they came out with their next machine, the 175 Tri-Moto. It also had a 5-speed transmission with a recoil starter and looked the same as the 125, but at 50 more cc's. Many more models were introduced, but none had the impact as much as the release of the 1985 Yamaha Tri-Z 250. Yamaha released this to compete with the already established Honda ATC and the Kawasaki Ducati. With these new toys out on the market, it wasn't long before they decided to see which one was better, stronger, and faster. fun soon ended. With the beginning of the 86 racing season, the race budgets were going to legal racing teams. To mount the number of lawsuits and increasing legal pressure from the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the four-wheeler had already started to replace the three-wheeler due to its more predictable nature in the corners. Also, mounting pressure from the government of justice led to the demise of the three-wheeler.
Consumer Product Safety Commission. Government experts say it is by far the most dangerous vehicle on the market today.
He was probably within 300 yards of where I was standing when it happened, and that machine turned upside down and pounded him on his head. It did it.
The type of accident that killed David Cooperstein is all too common. Based on a 1985 survey by the Consumer Product Safety Commission, in that year alone, ATVs flipped over and landed on riders about 22,000 times. Randy Nelson is a motorcycle expert who has testified against ATV makers in court.
In terms of dangerous products, how does this compare with other things you say?
The three-wheel configuration is by far the most
They
dangerous.
suggested we speak with Alan Isley, who represents the entire ATV industry.
Well, what I'm saying is in the 17 years that this product has been in use in this country, that 99% of the people who are using this product are not being involved in injuries.
It is to be used by kids. Did they test them to see if they were safe for kids to be used?
We have no record that they did. We have no record that they really tested the marketplace, that they took kids and put them on these vehicles to see how competent they were in the operation of them. We have no examples of that at all.
He was in unbelievable pain. And, you know, they strongly indicated to us that he wouldn't live. And then the doctors, after they did surgery, the surgeon came out and he said, "We have literally named him the miracle child."
Remember, the industry says the problem is with the rider, not the machine.
We are concerned enough about this problem that we are going to take it upon ourselves to say that before you walk out of our showroom with this machine, you're going to take a lesson. You're going to take this course, or we won't sell it to you because we care that much about your life. Can you do that?
Yes, we could do that.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission isn't waiting around for that to happen. Having just determined that ATVs pose an imminent hazard to public safety, the Commission will soon go to court to force the manufacturers to recall all three-wheel ATVs and all four-wheel ATVs which are used by children under 16. The total cost of the recall could exceed $1 billion.
So in 1986, major manufacturers stopped selling and producing the three-wheeler. There are rumors, however, that in 1987, the three-wheeler was still around, sold in Canada and Australia. In September of 2003, Honda announced that they were releasing an all-new high-performance quad, the TRX 450R. It didn't take long for TPC's founder, Bill Casey, to realize that this was the quad that he'd been waiting for 20 years. As soon as he saw it, he knew that this was the quad that he was to use as the foundation to create the first brand new performance trike that was ever built in decades. Trikefest is the annual gathering of three-wheeled ATV enthusiasts that reaches across the entire globe and brings trike enthusiasts together at Haspin Acres Riding Park in Laurel, Indiana. It is put on by threewheelerworld.com and it is held every year, the weekend after Father's Day, and it's been going strong since 2001. With the efforts of threewheelerworld.com and TPC Trikes and a whole host of others, the legacy of this once amazing machine will be kept alive for the future generations of the sport.
December 61, my dad's wages lie. Still on that salary, we all bought pussy time. Right now, if you try to find that baby sing with, you need a rock, score a band, and trickle tail. Too much more to do that I see. The kind of legacy that's tossing some good men to their knees. Great societies belong completely. Since then I'm thinking now at least it kept our brain. With all those corners cut, the cracks go wide and near. I heard some cactus saying, but where it's gone and clear. What goes there next, I don't know. I don't know nothing anymore. Tomorrow's legacy that's laying instead where to breathe.
He said, I got a problem with my four-wheeler. I said, yeah, you need to lose a wheel. Then he asked me, what's the difference between a three and a four-wheeler? Our best example, it's a difference between riding a live bull or a mechanical one. That one's live.